This is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and I wanted to go pick a bunch of leaves for making tea. I want to try to get 30 different tree leaves and, ginger leaves and stuff like that, and passion fruit leaves. Passion fruit it's like crop after crop after crop of fruit. So I was looking up all the information on, or not all the information because it's just so overwhelming, but looking at the phytochemicals, they're the nutrients that are found in these rare tropical fruit trees, leaves, the bark, and the stems, everything. So here's one. See if I can count and talk at the same time. So I looked up jackfruit and just was amazed that there's teas made from that. So it has all kinds of phenolic compounds and tannins and caretinoids and you name it, they've all got it. And it turns out that the biodiversity that we put in our mouths, so a tea made from multiple types of trees. I'm going to do one of the canistel. I didn't look up canistel. The fruit is getting close. But all those different, each individual plant has different nutrients and compounds in it. So that kind of explains why you want to have a bunch of different types of plants. The most amount of plants and different families grouped together, they say, is the best thing for plant health and for a healthy system. They're all nutrients. You're putting nutrients and gases and everything. All these phytochemicals. This is the bunchosia, the peanut butter fruit that had like amazing health benefits. So I got 3. Gonna do the black sapote 4. All these different nutrients in the plants that that's all exchanging of. That's what we're doing on Earth. We're all exchanging nutrients. It's continuous cycle of nutrient exchange. It never stops. I had one of my subscribers, Fort Myers Fruit Forest, that asked about cation exchange. He's into the cation exchange. That's all the exchange of nutrients. That's what it is in your soil it's a named cycle. So the same thing is going on within your cells constantly, and the cells of your plants. And these nutrients, they're just named different things, and each nutrient and phytochemical and stuff has a different cycle. There's just so many that are not named. And to get your cation exchange, they've shown that children raised on soils with high cation exchange tend to be smarter. So when you're raised around farm animals, you have a higher soil cation exchange generally, because of all the nutrients from the manures. You want organic nutrients. You don't want the pollutant nutrients. That's where we went wrong. That's why our health has gotten so bad, and that's why the planet's polluted. You want the organic nutrients to move through your soil. And the cation exchange capacity, it's how fast the nutrients move, basically, through your soil. So by having a healthy soil, the nutrients move through quicker. That's why microbiology affects it so much. And to tell whether or not you don't need to get a test. It's just a waste of money. to know whether or not your soil has a high cation exchange capacity is by whether or not you have soil aggregation happening at the soil surface. That's how it is. We got 3 inches of rain yesterday, and it looks like we're gonna get some more here. Stand underneath this stuff. So all these teas that I had no idea were so beneficial, I could tell a difference when I eat certain fruits. I mean, I could tell that I feel better. Definitely I feel a little more smart by eating healthy and organic. I read this thing on, if you don't eat organic, the average American consumes 16 pounds of chemicals a year. Oh my God. I wonder what percent, how many pounds of insecticides and nitrogen, how does it break down? I don't even want to know. It just frightens me. It kind of explains why my friends that don't eat organic, they tend to have health issues and their skin looks more aged. But they're pollutants. They gum up the cycles that are going on within your cells. That's what they do. They gum up the cycles going on in the soil, the cation exchange, the exchange of nutrients. So what is in your plant can become what is in you. And your animal eventually. We all share nutrients. What we don't share is pollution. That's the whole problem. They need to like outlaw these chemicals because we do know what is going on now, and it's people are getting wise to it. I know you guys are. I know I am. I have friends though that just don't eat organic. They just, I don't know why. A Quaimuk's fruit tree seeds, or leaf. The Quaimuk was full of like really good phytochemicals. All these phytochemicals in the plants, they move through the air and the water. So when you make tea out of them, Kamito, I guess, is like really good for phytochemicals, antioxidants, caretinoids. It's got such an interesting leaf. I see why. So it's 6, I think. But what was I saying? I forgot. These phytochemicals, they move through the air and they move through the water, and when you consume them, they move in you, and they activate hormones in your body, and they activate other enzymes for digestion, and they kind of are the communication for your body and for brain health for sure. It's just amazing that we're growing food with poison. I'm gonna do a ice cream bean, shiny one. Okay, I'm getting on my way. I'm gonna do this bee cappy. This is an ingredient used in ayahuasca. It contains, I guess, DMT, but it's just when you put it out of balance that it's a problem. Or, you know, like anything, throwing synthetic nitrogen or putting too much manure slurries on your system, too much chicken manure, will put your system out of balance. Sapodilla leaf. Okay, I think I'm up to 9 or so. I'll just pluck them all or count them when I'm done. I want this fruiting achacha tree leaf. And I definitely want the premium sugar cane I have. I got the black sapote. I want to get the juicy pearl because that's a different plant. All these phytochemicals and their health benefits, and it's the teas. I think that's the future. We did list our property, and because of all these known things that are just newly discovered with these tropical fruit trees, we are asking 2.5 million. So it's going to hit the market next week. And unfortunately, we can't replace anything in this area with that price. So we're going to have to go inland and probably a little bit north. But just because, and it's really hard to find property there too. It's just everything's gotten so crazy expensive. There's just no other property like this in Vero Beach with the old growth trees in this location, for sure. That's why it's so expensive. I coveted this property for a year before we got it, whining and begging to drive by it, looking at the property next door when it came for sale. Just, you name it, I did it. I wanted it. So it called to me, this property, and I think it's because of the old trees. You know, I grew up in Northern California before marijuana was so pervasive there. It was there. I mean, this is in the 60s and 70s, but it wasn't, you could ride horses out into the woods without getting shot. It was nice. It was a beautiful time, but the air was always so clean. And then when I was after 18, I moved to LA, and I always could like smell how nasty the air was, and just would like hold my breath in certain areas. And it turns out that the gases that are being released in a healthy system without pollution are sources of phytochemicals, plant enabling VOCs, and human enabling gases produced by the soil and the plants in your system. Okay, that's a star fruit. It's just all so fascinating how everything is connected and everything is being destroyed from the pollution, from our pollution that the oil and the chemicals. Because I'm sure we could live in harmony with in an agrarian paradise of cows and tropical fruit trees. The polluters and the pollutants are keeping us from being healthy, and that's what it comes down to. It's pretty sad. So the pollutions gum up these cycles, all these cycles, these different cycles going on. We got 3 inches of rain yesterday, and it looks like we're going to get more today. I have so much stuff I have to do. It makes me sick because it's not hitting the market until Friday. I don't think anybody will come look at it. That's what I'm banking on. We had it listed before with an agent, and not one call. She never called once. She never showed it once. She never called once in a year. And it was listed for $1.4 million. This was couple years ago, almost 3, I guess. Yeah. And because people can't get over the weeds. They think this is unmanicured. That's the whole problem. That's the irony of humans. They're too self-destructive. They don't know any better. They just they think they know more than nature. And when you remove the nature, you invite the pollution. That's how that works. That's why none of my neighbors have any dragonflies or birds that go on their property. Well, they fly over, but they're on their way here. The reason why the food doesn't have any taste or smell anymore I mean, everyone knows that tomatoes are horrible now. Kids today don't ever remember tomatoes tasting good. But as a child, they tasted good, and now they don't. But that's because they use chemicals. When you use chemicals and stuff, the plants don't have to produce the phytochemicals, and they don't produce them because they don't allow the life from the soil to move through their system that would trigger their phytochemicals, and which it expresses itself as scent and flavor, which is why the medical marijuana, that's why you can't get the skunk smell in your weed anymore, people. Because you grow in an artificial system. That's why. They don't have to, the molecules aren't there. If you're not getting them from the soil and from the air outside, because they move through the air, they move through the water. If you're not getting them from the natural water, then cacao. Look at how nice these cacao look. I mean, we're going to have lots of fruit. They look really good. Cocoa. People know this is cocoa. This is what they make chocolate out of, in case you don't know. I guess some people don't know what cacao is. So, sorry. I know. I was an amateur not that long ago. I just was so fascinated by tropical fruit trees that I spun up on them very quick. And thanks to this YouTube channel, I've progressed my knowledge of how to grow and why to grow. Why to grow. I'm glad I did it, and I'm going to continue doing it because I think that's how we can get more people to start doing this. Stop destroying freaking Florida. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, to listen to the moronic responses on TFF from the so-called experts on mangoes and anonas on how to grow and what to do just from a picture it's just totally ridiculous. Just as ridiculous as them telling me I couldn't grow mangoes with compost years ago. Adding small amounts of nutrients in the form of organic fertilizers. Their nutrients contain phytochemicals and all the other stuff. Not just your stupid NPK. You need all the nutrients, you need all the molecules in your system to be running successfully. That's what it comes down to, with no pollutants to gum up your system. They're pollutants. I can tell that I've gotten sharper just from drinking the tea. I really can. I mean, something's definitely going on with the organic tropical fruit tree leaf teas. Now this is the one over here that I just plucked. I want to talk about this one. This is called the African peach, and the phytochemical it releases is tramadol. Everyone knows what that is. It's a synthetic opiate produced naturally by this tree with a delicious fruit. So when you do it in like a little tiny one leaf, diluted in water, mixed with all the others. I want this different syzygiums, which we have a few of. So I want one of these leaves for sure. I didn't look up these, but I'm sure this is loaded with different phytochemicals. I mean, the tropical fruit tree, the biodynamic tropical fruit tree leaf teas have the ability to go head to head and surpass what medicinal marijuana does for your health. They just grow it all wrong in the indoors. I mean, it's putting it out of balance. It's not, sure they're getting a few of the things that they know what are in there, but the plant's not expressing its full capabilities because it's growing in artificial conditions. The sunlight and the air and the water all matter. You don't want polluted air. That's why I really want more property in this region along the east coast of Florida, like 3/4 of the way down thing, because I know that Melbourne, Florida, when I moved here, had the best air in the nation. It's grown up. Everything's grown up. Everything's gotten so expensive. It's crazy. I moved here during the downturn, like 10 years ago, and it was like nobody was here. I'd go in Bank of America, nobody was here. I'd go in the grocery store, nobody was here. And I drove around. This was up in southern Brevard County. And I drove around and looked at all the areas, and I fell in love with Vero Beach. And so that's why I ended up here. And that was my campaign, because my place in Grant was just supposed to be a stepping stone to find another place. This property was owned by the same family for 55 years. They built the house. Parents died, the kids inherited it, and they sold it like a couple years later. It has beautiful, beautiful old oak trees on it. Huge ancient oak trees, not the ones that are like in most of the properties, you know. But these are like huge, gigantic, old live oak trees. And some of them were dying. I would sit and meditate and think of ways to help the trees from dying. And think about the trees. So these old trees have really old nutrients, clean nutrients stored inside their ancient nutrients stored inside their bodies. I guess I could do the winged bean leaf for sure. Do I have enough giant mulchy leaves? Probably not. I don't want to even try it. Wasn't there a giant mulchy in here? Somewhere. Soursop, that's what I need. Soursop leaves. So I guess all these different gingers have different antioxidants and phenolic compounds. I do want this. This is the oil nut. They make oil out of the, or used to make light oil out of the nut oil from this tree. I think it's from India. All the different Garcinias have different compounds. So also somebody mentioned about the plants in pots. Do you remove the weeds and stuff? I do not. They're unsightly, but I think you can make them good by putting 4 different plant groups of your choosing, but I think the native plant roots are able to like help the tree adjust to drought conditions, because I don't water any of my potted seed grown plants. I put them in the biodynamic compost, and I guess I could do an oak leaf. I should do it off the old tree though, for sure. Oh, I got some more Garcinias here. This one's got covered in some weird scale. That's not right, but this one, tiny little fruit. Banana leaf tea for sure. Okay, this is a fruit. It's not the same thing. I think just a little bit of the really fresh leaf. The Luke's Garcinias are looking good. So yeah, the weeds in the pots for sure. I don't remove them. In fact, in the compost, our compost is covered in weeds. So there's weed seeds in our compost, but I also pick some weed seeds like these and throw in there just to be sure. When I grow my trees, my tropical fruit tree seeds in pots, I start my annonas that way in pots, and I start my cacao that way. We're gonna have lots of cacao, so I'm gonna start, so there's no reason this can't be a full-on chocolate farm. Since we have 30 naturally growing tropical fruit trees. Okay, please, may I have a leaf? Old oak tree. A nice healthy one. Which one do you suggest? These trees are gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous. This is what makes this property supremely unique from all the other properties. One oak leaf. I got Caesar weed. I got a grape leaf. I think I need a longan leaf for sure. Got some kwai muck left. I got to get a kwai muck leaf for sure. My mouth waters when I think of that fruit. Something's going on in that fruit. Got to get some moringa leaf. Moringa has cured me of my depression. I've been doing it every day for more than 3 years now, and it's I haven't been depressed. I have reasons to get depressed when I read stuff about vinyl chloride in our air that you can't get rid of and stuff like that, but I just try to stay optimistic and try to do my part. For a cleaner planet. Oh, all those people that grow their fruit in like synthetic, like Miracle Grow and or other things, other chemicals, and they use systemic fungicides just because they have to. No, you do not have to do that. That's your choice, and it's a wrong choice. Spraying copper on everything, that's the most stupid thing in the world. Stupid. Nutrient balancing your soil, stupid. How do you know what the soil needs? It's not just your NPK. It's just not just your rock salt, rock dust, or whatever the hell it is. It's creating habitat through living plants. That's what does it. I could smell the air. The air smells fresh and clean. I know it's good for me. You could just tell. Oh, guava leaf. That's what I need. I know I have like 70 different types of rare fruit trees here, at least. Probably more than that. I focused on the large fruited stuff. I didn't focus on any of the little stuff. I've had giant trees of, what are those guavas? Those Catleo guavas. I didn't like them. Big seeds, usually wormy flesh. Of course, now our guavas don't ever have worms, so I could grow worm-free here because that's what disease and pest suppressive soil is. It's what it does. It's not even an argument to be had anymore. This is known. So bring your chemicals to the recycling shop and please stop poisoning everyone. That's what I have to say about that. Citrus industry, please. I know you get the money from the agriculture, but you could do good at the same time. So this is that giant, this improved, this is the good sugar cane I have, and it's this is the black one. I also have a green one. And it's very big, but it's kind of greenish black. It's not the coal black of the other one. But this sugarcane is so juicy and sweet that I just was blown away. And somebody was asking about it. I gave somebody a tour yesterday. Actually, I have 2 different people looking at our property this weekend that are into biodynamic farming and growing naturally. So there's more than just me out there, but I try to tell people why this works this way. Why? Because it's clean. I mean, growing poison, using poisons to put in your food. How did they fool everyone with that idea? That's just, people just weren't paying attention. They definitely aren't paying attention now. Nobody pays attention to anyone. I saw where Mick Jagger went in a bar and nobody even recognized him in the town where he's playing. That's what's going on. I see all this trash and everything everywhere. Not here so much. I pick it up in front of the house. But in some areas, there's like trash everywhere. And it's frightening that people don't even pay attention to that. And then they spray their glyphosate in the waterways. In Indian River County, they're not supposed to be doing it, but they do it in Sebastian. I saw it. They do it in Miko. I saw it. Neighbors did it here, of course. You saw it. But how about the Santal? The Santal is like, I have one that's like twice this size. It's a tropical fruit. Sure, I can eat that. Tree leaf. Did I get Biden's? It's kind of what I live off during when I can't grow my greens. Drinking these teas though, they help my digestion, and I think I've lost some weight. And they said that's what they do. When your system's in balance, you don't get the fatty liver disease and all that stuff. That's caused from the 16 pounds of chemicals you're consuming a year. I mean, that's just gross to think that the average American that doesn't eat organic consumes 16 pounds of chemicals a year. It's gross. I wonder how many pounds they inhale with the microplastics in the air, other pollutants that go through the air. It's pollution, global warming, and all these health issues. It's all pollution. That's what's causing it. Please, governments, please sue the companies that are causing these the pollutants that are making the pollutants, to help humanity and the world, because that's really what it is. Please, citrus farmers, plant some seeds in your fields and stop the spraying, the overhead spraying. It's affecting the nutrient cycling abilities of the soil, the plant, and us. I'm gonna start ranting up. Go back to my happy place, the plant world. Oh, guanabana leaf, that's what I wanted. I mean, really, Florida, I mean, it really could be you can't buy the land because it's so expensive, so you have to go into these polluted citrus areas because that's where the land's cheap. It's a little colder out there, and there's, bug pressures because of all the killing that's been going on with their chemicals, but I'm sure if enough people bought land and they could change that, grew organically. Soil health. Yes, you need wood chips, but wood chips are just an input. What you need is the living roots, the biodiverse living roots, the ones that grow by themselves. That's what you need. All the diversity, it's not competing with each other. They're exchanging molecules that help them grow and live, and help everyone grow and live. I mean, what happens when you reach a certain limit of microplastic that grows inside that's inside the flesh of the salmon? Does the salmon just stop existing? Probably. Probably. We need to pay attention and wake up. Get your friends to stop eating chemicals. Got to buy organic at least. I know organic's not the best, but it's a hell of a lot better than the 16 pounds you're consuming from the conventional people. At least they test the chemicals that are in the organic. The ones that are doing the poisoning don't get tested. It's a screwed up system. So that a few people could get rich, taking advantage of naive people. Thinking people are gonna do the right thing. Thinking governments are gonna do the right thing. Well, they haven't. They take the bribes too. That's what it is. Citrus is really good for breathing, which we're gonna have our own citrus, and we've developed a lemon that ripens in midsummer here in Florida, one of our own seed-grown trees. So I'm very excited about that. Citrus in July in Florida. Who'd have thought? Here's the other sugar cane. It just never looked as good. This is the brown one. You know, it's at the end of, oh, that's the old one. Just not as thick and not as nice looking. I got soursop leaf, right? Did I forget? I went over there and forgot to get a soursop leaf. I do not see one. Make sure. I just want to walk back by my citrus. The chemicals keep your food from tasting good. They keep your marijuana from stinking. The indoor grows. You're not going to get the full expression of all the phytochemicals in your plants if you aren't growing in soil outside. It's impossible. Totally impossible. Maybe if they made teas with 100 different leaf teas from hundreds of different plants and put it in the solution, maybe that would be. I'm sure that would be beneficial. But there's nothing like getting right from the source. Just like raw manure, it's like the best. Whereas the composted manure, a lot of times can't be as good. In fact, I don't think it probably is as good. It just couldn't be. So a lot of these stuff get released into the air when they're exposed to oxygen. That's why the whole process of saying that aerated compost and bubbled compost is the best. I got one of these leaves, but I'll get another one. See if there's any fruit on here. I don't see no fruit. I see expired flowers. Well, maybe I see one fruit up there, maybe. I'm not gonna cross my fingers. It's probably just dangling from the leaf. Next year, eventually. But at least we have the guanabana leaf, lots of them. I planted 100 seedlings of guanabana last year of a fruiting kind that fruited in zone 9B. Delicious fruit. I love guanabana. We sold our beach house. It's like gone through everything. It's gonna close. Got full price basically. And we'd been trying to sell that for a long time because we just don't use it. I don't go up there. I used to kayak from there and I haven't done that in years. And This one, I'm hoping nobody bothers to come. Fear the weeds, people, because I do love my property here, and it's really inspired me and awakened me, I guess is what it is. And I know it's very healthy for me, so probably staying here would be good for my long-term health. And it's very inexpensive to live here if you don't have to pay the huge property tax bill, because you get because we're organic farm, and it's, you know, these are perennial crops, so they're staying in the ground. So you get the agricultural exemption on property taxes. And basically any plant you buy. So it all goes in the soil, and your animals. You don't have to pay any taxes on any of that stuff. And you don't get taxed for any of the products you sell. Makes stuff very easy. That's why after the first of the year, if we're still here, which I'm sure we will be, then the website is going up. I'm trying to think what I have in here. Adamoya or sugar apple leaf or ilama leaf. Probably, but I don't feel like walking through this to get to that. So I'm going to try to focus on other tree leaves we have and other plants we have, because we got a lot of them. I got Sapodilla. Look at these Sapodillas. They're like, people have trouble with Hasia, but it always fruits for us. It finally grew because I plucked all the fruit off of it last year. This is why the air smells so good here. It's all these flowers, and this isn't we didn't plant any of this stuff. We just the fruit trees and the ginger and stuff like that. Or I didn't. This one's got a lot more fruit on it. It's a lot bigger tree. It's finally getting tall. I love sapodillas. I like them all. Some have better flavors than others. I really love the Silas wood flavor. They're intense. So I guess this Inga cinnamonii A would work. Surely I have 30 leaves by now. Oh, I gotta get the kwaimak and the cashew. I have some seed-grown cashews over here. That's what I want. Then I'm gonna go count these leaves, and then I'm gonna end the video. Pigeon Pete. What was over here? Jackfruit. Seedling jackfruit. I guess jackfruit has some really amazing health benefits. The tea, the leaf tea. They sell it. There aren't any biodynamic leaf teas for sale of these type, where we would be the only source for all of these teas. Biodynamic certified and organic certified for that matter. So I know there aren't jackfruit. That's the jackfruit of mulberry. That's what I need. Organic jackfruit farms in Florida, because when I started doing this, they said it was impossible to do organic. But people that have never done it like this are telling me I couldn't do what I am doing here. That's kind of why I went on this journey of finding out all these answers, because An ackee leaf. Hopefully it's not poison. I'm sure it's not. Oh, cashew, that's what I'm looking for. This is a citron. I'm gonna do that because citron's an ancient fruit. I think I'm dropping stuff. I think I dropped my ackee. Yep. Okay, cashew, and then kwai muck. And then that'll be it. I'm starting to get hot. I gotta do a bunch of work here. It's just like, just in case we get one person that wants to look at this farm. We're not budging on the price, so there's no negotiation. There's probably the pepper tree for sure. I'm gonna do some pepper tree, Brazilian pepper. Let's do this. Did I do starfruit? Starfruit. I'll do that. A couple of leaves. I think I did it already. I'm gonna just count these leaves now, and then I'll go get my kwai muck. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 different leaf teas, and I didn't even get all of our fruit trees. Because supposedly if you eat 30 different types of vegetables a week, that your digestion works really good. And your digestion is just how fast your system is processing nutrients. It's just like the cation exchange. If you get a really fast cation exchange going on, your system is processing, or the soil is processing the nutrients. The nutrients are exchanging. That's called the cation exchange. And when you have a very fast, I'm not talking diarrhea, but if your system is able to process the nutrients you're consuming in the form of carbon, of like fruit or whatever, then the faster it goes, the better. It's all related, and it slows down when your body can't digest stuff caused by pollution and poor diet that's polluted. So GMO foods, oh no. This plum, this purpurea, purple, what is it? It's some plum. I don't know. It hasn't fruited yet. I'll know when it fruits. And then this is gingium, so 37. So if you have eating all these different plants, 30 or more a week, then supposedly they have to be organic. I mean, they have to be. I don't want to drop my seeds. Okay, I'm looking for some kwai muck. So all these different phytochemicals and nutrients that you get from the tea, from all these different leaves, will speed your system up. It makes your communication system work faster. That's what it does. why people have foggy brains today. I was the same way. I was given like antibiotics as a teenager because that's what you did in the 70s for acne. And I really think it made me stupid. Good thing I wasn't bad looking, but that's not a good thing when you're blonde. And then I continued eating bad food and didn't make the right choices until I moved to Florida. I hadn't always eaten all organic. I lived in New Orleans for 7 years. It was a very unhealthy place. The air smelled horrible. So here's the kwai muck. This other fruit's getting bigger, so it has a little ways to go. I'm gonna grab one of your leaves because I'm sure you do. I looked it up. It's full of good things. I'm not gonna walk through the sticker patch. That tractor, see that noise in the background? That's our tractor. I don't want to bring it with us. I hate the smell of diesel. It has come in handy when we've had animals die and stuff like that. Oh, this, I need some of this. Jamaican sorrel. This sapodilla tree is like loaded. It's a Silas wood. Yep, I hate diesel smell. Oh, turmeric leaf. Oh, this never ends. $38, $39. Moringa is 40. Is it 40 different? I'm gonna do some rose, so 41. Just, it's like never ending. Oh, and then there's this. 42. Stop. Oh, lemongrass, I need that. Anyway, this is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. I hope you have a good day.